Hey guys, it's your girl Diabla, and I am back at it again with another video for you guys. So before we get into the topic for today, y'all know the drill. I always have the same question for y'all.
Did you miss me?
Because it been 3 whole days. How could you not miss me? You know what I'm saying? But before we get into the video, make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and also subscribing. Make sure you have your post notifications on so that you guys know if I breathe, if I post something, you know what I'm saying? If you just want to keep up with me, then you should definitely have your post notifications on, because I love to talk shit to you guys, and I love when y'all talk shit to me back. But as you can see from the title of the video, this video today is going to be focused on Megan's self-titled album, Megan, that just came out. For you guys who don't know, I don't know if you guys know this, I'm a huge Megan fan. I've never sat up here and tried to pretend like I wasn't a huge Megan fan. I'm not a biased fan. If I don't like something, then I just don't like it. But I'm not gonna lie, this album was absolutely amazing. It feels like her most cohesive album yet. I feel like since she now has her own creative direction with her album, and she's not under that horrifying label and underneath these con artists, it feels like she was able to really make her album more cohesive. And I think in the past, although I love her albums, love her projects, I feel like the cohesiveness of the albums as a body of work has definitely been a criticism that I have had for her. But I feel like she's a great rapper. She just has to get a little more cohesive with her commercial songs. And she also has to just play her cards right in terms of knowing what songs are going to be hits and what songs are not going to be hits. But I want to start off the video just by going through the track list and giving you guys my opinion. There are 18 songs on the track list. The album's about 52 minutes long. We're going to just run through the track list. I'm going to let you know what I thought of each song. Then we'll go into my top 3 songs. We'll go into the 3 songs that were not my favorites, and just some pieces of advice or things that I may have changed or altered on the album. So let's get right into the video. So starting off, the album starts off with Hiss. So with Hiss, we all remember where we were when Hiss came out. Megan came out swinging. You get what I'm saying? Swinging like Columbus Short in that Boys in the Hood movie. It did really, really well. I think it went #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was the first song by a female rapper ever in history to go #1 on the Billboard Global 200 charts. We already love Hiss. I'm not really going to get into it. But I love that she started out her album like this, because this album is all about new beginnings. You're not becoming a different person, because I don't think that Megan's becoming a different person. I think it's more about becoming a different form of who she used to be. With all the hate, with all the controversy, I'm not going to get into that because I feel like she's on a new chapter, so there's no point in bringing up past irrelevant stuff. But I feel like it was a great way to start the album out, just to let you guys know, like, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about, and I'm not about to explain myself because I'm a grown-ass woman and I don't have to. So love Hiss. Hiss is one of those songs that I love playing it in the car. I play it in the shower. I play Hiss about maybe once a day just to give myself that energy. So Hiss, 10 out of 10, loved it. Video was amazing. Impact was amazing. The whole world went crazy when Hiss came out. It definitely set the tone for the rest of these beefs that's going on in hip hop. The girls won't admit it, but they know it's the truth. Now, the next song, Rattle. Now, Rattle, initially with the title, I thought it was going to be a song similar to Hiss. But if you know anything about Megan and the way that she structures her albums, her first 3 to 4 songs are normally shit talkers. So she's normally on there popping her shit. I think she did the same thing on Traumazine. She had, I believe it was NDA, Ungrateful, and another song I can't for the life of me remember. But Rattle literally is my favorite song. I love the kind of cool, it gives me a very Houston Southern vibe. Beat is amazing. I love how she came on the beat. I love the hook. I love how she was spitting the same and talking the same was talking on his, but it was more of a, she has just come to the conclusion that bitches don't like her. Bitches don't like her. She got a lot of haters, and it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, it's more of a stand-up song where she's acknowledging, listen, y'all don't like me, but guess what? I go to war with the whole world. I don't even care. Anybody can get it, and it just doesn't matter to me. I feel like on that song, she was really spitting. I feel like she was giving us a lot of bars, and I feel like on that song, she was not speaking about her sexuality. She wasn't speaking about her pussy. She was really, really talking about her life, how she's been feeling, and just emotions that she's been going through in this past 3 to 4 years. So Rattle for me, 10 out of 10, loved it. I feel like the hook, this kind of sounds dumb, but I feel like the hook is a bit repetitive. I wish that when she says on the hook, no, I got haters, too many. When she says too many, I wish that whoever produced it lowered the voice so that way you could hear the difference between the hook and the ad-lib. But it's at the same volume as the initial hook. So it sounds like one long hook when I feel like the hook should have layers. I feel like that too many ad-libs should definitely be something that's in the background to give the hook multi-layers to it. But Rattle, one of my favorite songs. The next song after that is Figaro, which I believe is based off of a strip in LA. I think it's like a ex-worker type of strip, some trickster type of things, if you guys catch my drift. I don't know. When I first heard this song, I was a little bit thrown aback. It's probably just the beat for me. It's something that has to grow on me. I like it, but it's not something that I would probably put on its own. It would probably be a track that I would have to actually listen to as I listen to the entire album. But the most memorable line on the whole track is white girl on the internet dissing Megan, black ghostwriter, what the thinking? And I think we all pretty much know who this line is referring to, Miss Igloo, Australia. I think this has to do with just them having a little bit of words back and forth, and then her writing that letter for Tory Lanez. Like that's just absolutely colonizer behavior. So I understand her throwing in that line because I definitely would have had something to say too. In terms of the quality of the song, I like the song. I love the verses in between. But once again, my only criticism is I think the hook needs to be tweaked. I like the way that she uses the car sound, the engine sound to her liking in terms of the hook. However, it's just something about the hook and the way it's layered with the verses that are off-putting. But maybe this is one of those songs that has to grow on you. I think it's one of those things where either it's your cup of tea or it's not. In my opinion, I would probably give the song a 6.57 out of 10. It's not something that I myself would just go search for and put on. But if I'm listening to an album and I hear this track, it's something different. So I definitely like that part of it. But it's not one of my favorites. I would probably put it in my bottom 3. If I had my least favorites, it would probably be, I would say maybe my third least favorite. Now the next song, Where Them Girls At. Now I don't know if you guys saw, but Megan sampled or previewed this on her Instagram where she had the tour bus full of baddies. You know what I'm saying? I love me some baddies. If you guys don't know, I don't know how old my audience is, but she sampled Booty Me Down by K Stylist. Booty Me Down brings me back to house parties. So back when I was like 15, 16, we would have house parties all the time. That's back when shit was safe. I loved how she came in on the song. I think Jew put his foot in this beat. I thought the beat was amazing. I thought her verses were very tight. I feel like she didn't try to do too much. She didn't try to give you too many words, too many lyrics. She just made the verses very, very tight. And I also love the different flow switches that she did. Made her voice go with the beat. So when the beat dropped, you can see her flow changing and switching to accommodate the beat. I could see this being huge in the clubs. I could see this being a huge twerk anthem if she markets this correctly. But I would definitely give Where Them Girls At a 10 out of 10 just because it's a simple song. It's not supposed to be an overly complicated song. The original song is just a cute, southern, chill, house party music. So I really love that about it. I would love if she gave us a video to this. This is probably one of my top 3 songs on the album. It's not my number 1, but it probably would be between number 2 and number 3. Next track we have on the album is Broke His Heart. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I could do without this song. I'm gonna be so blatantly honest. When I hear female rappers rap, I don't want to hear you really talking about no love type of shit. But I think that she put this song in her album to appeal to a different market. I don't think the market is me in particular. I love the way that the song was crafted. I love the way that it was mixed, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite song. If I was to give it a rating out of 10, I would probably give it 6. I could honestly do without the song, but I know a lot of people who love this song. I could see a lot of the more emotional, green type of girls really liking this song. But to me, it's one of the least exciting tracks on the album. Now, this next track, Both Ain't Shit, featuring Kyle Rich, samples a Tina Marie song. I cannot for the life of me think of what it is. I'll post it right here when I do figure out what the sample is. Love this song. I love how she hopped on a drill beat, since drill beats are common nowadays, but she was spitting. Like, she was spitting. When I first heard this sample when they were in the club, I didn't like it, because I'm not a fan of drill music. I hate drill music. But I really like the spin that she put on it, and I really love the hook. The hook, he lying to me and I'm lying to him. I love that, because I feel like it kind of speaks more to real, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times you see women who are just laying down, taking it, letting men walk all over them, letting these play with them. So I like the feel of the song. Hey, if you lie, I lie. I'm on what you on. If he ain't shit, then I guess we ain't shit together. I would definitely put this as one of my top songs on the album. I could see this being a club banger. I'm from New York, so I could definitely see the New York clubs eating this up. And I think Kyle Rich did a good job, especially for a young artist. I think he did a really good job blending his voice to hers. Whoever did the sample did a great job. And if I had to rate it, I would out of 10, I would probably give this song like 8 out of 10. It's one of my more favorable tracks on the album. Now, this Otaku Hot Girl. I'm not a big anime person, but my boyfriend, huge anime person. He loves Jujutsu Kaisen. I thought it was so dope that she had the voice actor actually say her name, be on the intro. I think that is so impressive that she was able to even clear the anime sample in general. I feel like Megan loves anime. She has a huge anime fan base, so I feel like this Otaku Hot Girl for the anime hotties. But I still feel like her first verse was good, but that second verse, she was eating that up. Like, I think she's definitely carving herself out to be more versatile. This song absolutely showed her versatility, and I feel like she was able to speak about different topics instead of just the same old, you know, pussy rap this, pussy rap that. I really loved the sample. If I was to rate this song, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. The beat is something that is a little different, but it samples the theme song from the anime. So if you're not used to that kind of music, this may be something that you would have to get around to, but I would definitely check this out. I love how she incorporated all of the anime characters into her raps, how she flipped them into bars. Like, she's really showing that she has a pen and she really writes her raps. So, love Otaku Hot Girl. Now, the next track is Find Out. So, this is more like a cognac queen. So, if you guys are fans of Megan, it gives more of a cognac queen, red wine type of vibe. Very sexy, I love the beat. It feels like an old school, like those old school hip hop songs we would listen to. Love the beat, love the hook. I think it just feels very sexy. It's not something that I think would necessarily stand out in terms of the radio and mainstream, but of all the songs on the album, I really enjoy this song. I would give this song like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Love this song. Thought it was very sexy, and I also thought it brought a balance, because in the beginning of the album it's mostly like giving you bars, it's very turned up, everything's very up, and I feel like this find out kind of that transition that you need in an album for it to transition smoothly, because later on in the album we kind of slow down and get more of a South Beach. That's the vibe we start to get. So I absolutely love this track. I think she should definitely push this track, not as a priority, but if it continues to get enough attention, I would push this track. So now we have the track Boa following this. We all have heard Boa, but she released Boa as a single. It samples What Do You Want by Gwen Stefani, one of my favorite Gwen Stefani songs. I love Boa. I love how they use the sample. I love how she used the Tik Tok sample in her actual chorus. I think individually, when you hear Boa on its own, it kind of feels out of place. But when you listen to it in the album, it makes perfect sense, and it's definitely needed. It gives a very commercial feel to it, but it still has a fun vibe. And the fact that it comes right before the Mamushi song that she has with another Japanese rapper, I think it fits in and it flows beautifully. That's my opinion. Boa, I don't feel like it's her most strong lyrical song. I would probably give Boa like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 on its own, but in terms of it being cohesive to the album, I think it definitely ties up the album and helps the transition into the more laid back, chopped and screwed feel that we get later on in the album. Now this Mamushi featuring Yuki Chiba, if I'm saying his name wrong, you guys can correct me down in the bottom. I don't know much about him. I know that he had a song previously with Bun B. I love the song. I think the beat is so hard. Now, I did have some issues getting into it because I guess it's just a different style of music. It's not one of my favorite songs on the album, but I think that when she gets on this album, she is literally rapping in Japanese. And I feel like it doesn't get more versatile than rapping in Japanese. I feel like she really tried to match his swag on this track. I feel like even though I did not know one word this man was saying, he absolutely slid on his verse. I would love to see a video for this. I know she was in Tokyo and they kind of linked up and stuff like that. She was out in Tokyo for a while, so I'm hoping that we get a video for this in Tokyo, because I think that would be so dope, and it brings something new to America. We're not really used to Japanese rappers out here. I feel like as Black women, we're always so put in a box, and I love that she's showing on this album that she is a multifaceted person. Now the next song is Accent featuring Glorilla. Now I did not know that after that Wannabe song that Glow and Meg would become one of my favorite rap duos. I was never a huge fan of Glow, but I'm not gonna lie, over the last couple of years, like maybe the last year or so, I have become the biggest Glorilla fan. I just love everything about her. I love her personality. She reminds me of like my little cousin. Super cute. She's way too thick for me, saying shaking the table and shaking the world, but I love Accent featuring Glorilla. I thought the hook was great. Their voices blend so well. They had a back and forth at the end of the song, and I thought it was amazing. I love that these Southern women are starting to really, put their names out there. And I love that Megan and Glorilla are putting on for the South, and they're, really sticking true to the South has something to say. This song for me, out of 10. Love the song, love the hook, love the back and forth. Glow was spitting, like they were just on there spitting bars, and I really fuck with this song hard. So this would definitely be one of my top picks of her album. Now track 12 is Paper Together, featuring an unreleased track from Pimp C, and then you have a new verse from Bun B on this. My boyfriend used to live in Texas for a really long time. He's actually the one that kind of put me on to the whole UGK thing. When we both heard this track, we literally got chills down our body. Like, Megan really was rapping like the rent was due. Bun B came on there, like, slid, completely ate the whole song. Loved the hook. Pimp C sounded so good on the hook. Like, you would have thought that he was still alive. That's how well this song was produced. I think that this could definitely be one of the songs of the summer, and I love that no matter what happens with her, that she constantly puts on For Her City, and I love that she is giving homage to the greats of her city. So I love this track. I feel like she brought Tina Snow on this track, and we got to hear a Tony Snow, Tina Snow, Bun B track, and I just thought it was amazing. I loved everything about it. 10 out of 10, probably my top 3 song of this whole album. Now, the next track was Spin featuring Victoria Monet. Victoria Monet sounds amazing on literally every single thing. Like, she gets on, she sounds amazing. I love this track. I was a little nervous because Megan had a track similar to this, Aiko, called Consistency, and I was a little nervous that Megan was going, bring that hardness, rawr, what I'm saying, to the track. But she definitely toned down the aggression, and the song sounded so great. The song sounded so good. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I would love a video with this, in my opinion. I would love, we're talking about sexiness. Victoria Monet, Megantheestallion, like, would not want a video. And Victoria Monet eats all her videos. I do have a suggestion though. If I was Megan, I would put a male on this song. If I had this song, I would probably later on remix it and add someone else onto it. I was thinking Tank. I think Tank would be a perfect addition to this song. And I would love to see a video with just, chocolate melanin. I feel like she needs a man on this record to kind of bring up the sexy. It's definitely a sexy record. If I had to rate it, I would probably give it like an 8 out of 10. But I think if she was to put Tank on it, this record would be like phenomenal. After Spin, we have the song Downstairs DJ. Now, she was absolutely spitting on this track. I love this track. I think the production of this track was great. I think the beat was great. It's not really my kind of track, I'm just going to be honest, because I'm not going to lie, I've never heard a track about masturbating. I've never in my entire life heard anyone have a track about. But I love that she owns her sexuality. For my sexually strong and sexually confident baddies, this would definitely be a track. I would play this if I was like in my room late at night, all the lights off. I would definitely play this just in my headset. But it's not my favorite. It feels kind of more like a filler song on the album. I would give it probably a 7 out of 10. Not a bad song. It's just not my cup of tea. Now, Miami Blue. So Miami Blue has the mystery feature, which is Buddha Bless the Beat and featuring Big Crit. I love Big Crit. I love his music. When I heard that he was on this track, and I actually heard this track is amazing. This is actually probably one of my favorite tracks on the entire album. I would definitely put it up there with my top 3 that I love the most. I feel like this song was tight. I love when Megan raps with men, because I feel like a lot of times people get things twisted because of the subjects that she chooses to rap about. Megan pushes her pen. And when she first came in this industry, she was rapping besides the biggest of men. So I feel like this track definitely shows her pen. It shows that she can rap next to the greatest of men. And I just love the hook. Big Crit really put his foot in the hook. Whoever produced this song did a great job. I could see this in my car late night driving down the highway. I would definitely feel this song. This song feels like a vibe. The whole song is just a vibe. I would give this song a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it. Now, the 16th track on the song is called Worthy. I am not gonna lie, I do not like when Megan sings. But I don't like when any female rappers sing. I feel like their voices are too gritty and too strong for it to be palatable. So I'm not into the song Worthy. I love the message behind it, that she's worthy, she's not worthless. I feel like she got very vulnerable on this track, and I absolutely love that about her. I love that she's not afraid to get vulnerable, even though people have tried to tear her another. And I just feel as though I personally don't like this song because I don't like when Megan sings. But I feel like the production on this song was great. I feel like the production was amazing. I feel like this is going to work for the clear girlies. She could definitely market this to like commercials, endorsements, things like that. But personally, I would skip this. If I had to give it a rating, I would probably give it a 5 out of 10. Probably like a 4 out of 10. Don't kill me. It's just I'm not a fan of that kind of music. Now, Moody Girl is the second to last track on the album. I love this second to last track on the album. I love how she starts with the real sad girl shit. I thought that was really cute. I thought it was a great twist on the real hot girl shit. And I feel like as a woman, as a young woman, as someone who relates to Megan in terms of just like living life, coming from where we come from, our culture, things like that, I feel like this song was great. I feel like she spoke to those pieces in me, those sad parts in me where it becomes hard to verbally explain how you feel, but I feel like Megan did a great job of explaining how a lot of women feel sometimes deep down. Everyone sees you on the outside, they see your appearance, so they think that because you're quote unquote a beautiful girl, that everything in your life is just easy, and that's so wrong. It's totally the opposite. So I love her vulnerability in this song. I thought it was great. And I actually like that she put this song right before Cobra, because I feel like it has a smooth transition into Cobra. And speaking of Cobra, Cobra was the last track. Megan chose to close out her album with Cobra. I love Cobra. Cobra's amazing. I love the rap version of Cobra. It speaks to that PTSD. It speaks to that depression that we all go through. I think Cobra is a 10 out of 10 song. I love the video. I love the meaning behind it. I play it almost literally every single day when I'm in the shower. I play that song. So I absolutely love Cobra. I just really feel like she was very versatile in terms of Cobra. So all in all, guys, if I had to pick my top 3 records on this album, it's really hard to pick. But if I had to pick my top 3 records, it would be Rattle, Where Them Girls At, and probably Miami Blue. If I had to squeeze in another song, it would be Paper Together featuring UGK, because I just felt like she had multiple flows on that song and I loved it. If I had to pick my 3 least favorite songs on the album, it would be Broke His Heart, Worthy, and probably Figueroa. And that's me picking because I like Figueroa. But if I was forced to say these are the 3 songs I didn't necessarily like, Worthy, Broke His Heart, and Figueroa. But all in all, this album had maybe 2 skips for me out of all 18 songs. I feel like I let this play this morning. I didn't touch my phone. I let it play all the way through. And I absolutely love this album. I think it showed a lot of her versatility. I think that she definitely was in her bag. She switched up her flows. I think that she has a lot of bangers on this album. But I will say this, in my personal opinion, I know that Americans have a very Eurocentric way of thinking, especially, disrespect the Black community has a very Eurocentric way of thinking. And when I say things like that, a lot of times the Black community and Americans can be very stagnated in regards to what appeals to the rest of the world. So Americans feel like if they don't think things are hot, then the whole world doesn't think they're hot, and that's just not how it works. In my opinion, I really feel like the breakaway tracks from this album are gonna be Otaku Hot Girl, Mamushi featuring Yuki Chiba. I think that's how you say his name. I also think that Accent featuring Glorilla and Where Them Girls At are definitely gonna be some huge major hits. She's been cosplaying. I really think that Americans, especially the Black community, I think they'll be really surprised to see that the Japanese inspired songs on her album are actually going to carry her album, and I can actually see those being the biggest hits that she has on her album. That's my personal opinion. I think that in this generation, I feel like a lot of the young kids, a lot of the people on social media, their thing is if people don't like something, then they don't like it either. So I feel like people are sleeping on this album initially, but watch. I just feel in my heart that Megan has a lot of bangers on this album. I think the album was crafted really well, and I think that she is crossing over into an international, versatile kind of brand. And I think that at first the Black community is not really going to get it. But I'm telling you right now, that anime community, that community is gigantic. Trust me when I say this. So her catering to the anime community, the Japanese culture, I could see that really, really benefiting her in the end. So yeah. As a female rapper, Megan is one of a kind. She is the biggest female rapper to ever come out of Texas, period. You don't have to like her, but facts are just facts. But at the end of the day, she is definitely putting on for her city. And she's opening the door for other women from her city to also be able to get on and not just be put into this box of being a Black girl from around the way. No, being multifaceted, being able to be versatile, being able to be marketable. And I think that this album, if I had to pick one word to describe this album, it would definitely be versatility. I think that she showed her versatility, and she showed that she is marketable to more than just one demographic of people. But if you're looking to have fun, to have an album that you can play front to back, that has very few skips, if you're looking for something that feels summertime, that feels versatile, and that you can get some bops on it, this is the album for you. I would definitely say of all the albums that I've heard this year, Megan's definitely in my top 3 for album of the year. So yeah. If you guys have heard the album, let me know what you think down below. Let me know what your favorite tracks are, what your least favorite tracks are, what songs you would like to see her make a single, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Oh, and don't forget, you guys can sing me praises, you can disagree with me, you can say whatever it is that you want. I'm all up for a difference of opinion, but make sure that you do not get disrespectful in my comments, because I will curse you the fuck out. Okay? Bye!